face and start kicking ass, just like it said at the beginning of the program.
Man of the hour, tower of power, too sweet to be sour.
Sending your ass on the jabroni jet to the other side of the territory, brother.
The Alabama Hammer.
Nightmares on the best part of my day.
The goods from the woods.
Hot damn.
Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
Pat Riley.
Mr. Goodnight, bottom made of twisted steel, supersonic sex appeal, man of the hour, tower of power, too sweet to be sour.
And I just walked across the street here to REI and bought a new wallet.
Wow.
Everybody alert the media, Rivers Langley has a new wallet.
My old wallet was Velcro, and I got it, believe it was my dad just bought it, and it was just sitting around the house. It was just like an extra. And in about 2004, my leather wallet finally gave out, and I decided to get the one that was laying around the house, with the intention being eventually I'm going to get a new one, and never got a new one. So 10 years later, finally, that one saw its end today, so I got a new one. But Mr. Goodnight's wallet,
It's well known Mr. Goodnight keeps a lot of shit in his wallets, and Mr. Goodnight's wallet, you can't see it on the radio or the internet or whatever, but
My God, that thing looks like it got chewed up by a wolverine.
I think it was at one point. It's been held together by duct tape. I got it in late 2008 at a Walmart I was in. It had a Totenkopf on it, a death's head, which I thought, and a chain. So I was like, I'm badass now. I'm going to have a wallet. I have chains hanging off my pants, like like them weasels in Roger Rabbit. And with Rivers, with the occasion of his new wallet, we started emptying out ours. I've got quite a travel log in Mr. Goodnight's wallet.
yeah.
I guess for now, this is exploring Mr. Goodnight's wallet.
Yeah, and Rivers has a good sort of wallet, so maybe we'll go into that. Mine's boring as hell. I just have receipts for bargain fare and McDonald's, where apparently I decided to get a large Dr. Pepper and apple dippers, and that's the extent of my...
the most boring human being I know.
Yeah, I am. I really am the most boring human being on the planet.
Apple dippers. It's just apples, right?
It's just apples
With some
caramel
bullshit
sauce.
that you dip them
They
in.
ran out of caramel sauce, so I just got stuck. They gave me 2 packages of apples as a peace offering.
Wow.
So what's in the wallet, Goodnight?
Okay, yeah, we actually have a bunch of them. My wallet, it's well known. My wallets are like the temple of like the lost treasure.
You guys cannot see this, but he has about 3 stacks of cards that are probably a good 2 centimeters high.
Yeah, and the best thing is, this is only recent. I used to have wallets going all the way back to when I was undergrad, but this wallet I got in 2008 when I was living in Weymouth, Massachusetts. So it's only from like the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's almost like, shit, you want me to dive in?
Go for it,
The anthropomorphic record here.
Yeah. So we've got obviously I got the driver's license with my secret, all my information and all that is secret. But there's the driver's license, a Massachusetts driver's license, which I never changed because I had health care in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So you're going to see a lot of that because there's a lot of health care cards actually in my wallet. This right here is a Massachusetts Tufts health care card.
Wow.
Right here, look at that. Shit, going to the hospital in Boston, I'll say one thing about Boston, it's got good hospitals. I mean, going to the hospital in Boston, you feel like you're walking into a temple of health. You get good and very modern care, whereas going to hospital in California feels like I don't know if y'all remember that video game Shadowrun.
Yeah.
You go to the street dock and they just chop you up. They got like hospitals and strip malls here and shit.
Yeah.
Look at that. We got my American quarter horse bank card right here. It has a picture of a horse on it.
Now, here's the question.
What?
Was it a thing where you went to your bank and they said, you want a debit card, here are the options?
Yeah.
And
I picked the horse.
And did they say anything about it, or was it just okay?
They're technically for charities and shit, and my brother was under the impression wrongly that the charity gets money, when you use the thing. So he got this ugly kids with cancer card or something. But I was like,
looks like he's just a fan of kids with cancer.
Well, no, who isn't? I mean, I support them kids in the tradition of Danny Thomas, if you will. I will make room for Daddy. But, when they showed me that, when I learned it wasn't going to get money just for me spending it, I said, well, shit, I want to picture the horse because it's like a cowboy. Every time I swipe this cred stick at Vaughn's or Albertsons or something, it's like Cowboys in town. Speaking of which, here's my Vaughn's Club card.
Yeah.
I got a lot of supermarket cards, but most of them are on my belt, my keys. I have my State of California benefits identification card.
Yeah, I don't have a Vaughn's Club card on me, but all the Vaughn's Club points that I accrue go to Abraham Taco Bell of 456 Jabroni Drive.
This right here is the Massachusetts license I was talking about. You can see it's a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
I'm on it and all that shit.
It's a nice one.
Oh, look at this. Miss Nikki, the lady sings. Professional vocal entertainer. Recording artist, crowd pleaser. This is when I was in Memphis and I went to a juke joint. And she's big sister, and she up there and she was singing like Clean Up Woman and shit like that. And I gotta admit, I was attracted to her because her singing was so soulful and shit, and that don't usually get to me like that. But so I asked, I says, "You're wonderful, hon," and give her a hug and all that shit and a kiss and everything. But she's all like, well, you want to buy my CD? And that's what I'm like, I don't know about that one. I got no cash or some shit like that. You can buy. So she gives me her card so I could buy it on MySpace, something like that. But there's an actual souvenir of a juke joint.
Plug her website.
MySpace.com/Miss Nikki NICKKI Blues.
Yeah, she's the shit. I've seen her at what's called
Friendster. Wild
Bill's, I think, in Memphis. It was like this little juke joint. Well, shit, we almost didn't go in because it looked like the kind of place we get cut up.
Yeah.
And there's a guy with a lazy eye watching the door, and it's like, and we go inside. It's one of those places you could smoke inside.
Yeah.
And it's just people sitting there, and like all the local blues players just coming down and jamming. And you pay them like $3, and they sell you the cup, and then you can keep refilling at the keg.
Nice,
and shit.
Nice, yeah.
People
That's
are just
cool.
dancing. People dancing with my brother's wife and shit like that. We had a damn good time. It was juke joint. Juke joint. In Memphis. And Miss Nikki, you beautiful woman, I got your card still. That's my memory of you.
I'm gonna see if I can't find some music for her. Let's hear.
Yeah, do that.
Let's hear a little bit of Miss Nikki.
Say your party's jumping and everybody's having a good time, but you know what's going through my mind. Do you mind if I get comfortable and kick off these shoes? Yeah. While you're fixing me a drink, play me some of them down home blues.
Damn, that was some good shit. I told you that was
Good. Wow.
I told you.
She's bigger than MySpace. Jeez.
Yeah.
She did. I remember she did a Clean Up Woman, and,
Yeah.
she was doing like a rap in the middle of it about how she's going to clean up. And she said, "Just call my number, honey, 777-9311."
Oh, man.
Wow.
Honey, we got the same
Good move.
phone number.
Right, Morris Day in the Time reference there.
Oh yeah, you can't live without the time. Without time, weed all be dead.
That's right.
Right here, we got it's AAA card. Probably cut that shit off. But I recommend if this is I was going to a commercial for something, it'd be the AAA. Because it's good value for money, especially if you drive old shit cards like mine. Anyway, this is a Qdoba card. You have to. No, Qdoba is one of Mr. Goodnight's favoriteest things. Mr. Goodnight do not
Really?
like. Yeah, no, Mr. Goodnight. You know why?
Wow.
Because this is why.
What's Qdoba? Explain.
Qdoba is like Chipotle,
No,
but
it's not
better.
really like Chipotle, I think.
It is because they just do burritos mainly.
They do burritos, but does it have the thing where you say what
Yeah.
you put? Okay.
It's the same kind of situation where you go through and you go. The reason it's going to like Qdoba is because they got ground beef. So you can get you some American-style hamburger meat in your burrito.
Okay.
And I love that shit. And they're what do you call that? The soup.
The tortilla soup?
Tortilla soup is damn good, especially if
okay.
you're like me and you put a hell of a lot of chalupa in it. This card is actually under the name Mr. Goodnight because they give you a free burrito on your birthday, which reminds me that I should have got one last week because I told them my birthday was June 25th. That's his last stand to get one. But yeah, but the problem with Qdoba is it's too expensive, so I had to use the card so I can get a free burrito when I amass 100 points. But there's not enough of them around L.A. You know how long, by the way, it took me to pronounce Qdoba? I was calling it Cordova, like in medieval Spain. Oh, my Pans card. Pans is a diner. Serves actually has a lot of like Southern type of food. It's the diner from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, it's not the real diner from Pulp Fiction because the real one
one's
was in
not there.
Hawthorne.
Yeah, and it's not there anymore.
You mean that's not the diner?
No, but it's
Then that picture of
basically
Uma Thurman inside is a lie?
it's the same owners, and it was the exact same layout as the one on La Cienega.
So is that one though? They actually film Pulp Fiction.
The one they actually filmed in is it's like a dentist office or some shit now.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's doesn't work. So by default, that's essentially the Pulp Fiction
because 5
diner.
years I've been out here and I've been royally lied to about where Pulp Fiction diner was. Because first I thought it was Johnny's on Wilshire.
yeah, no, that's the Reservoir Dogs diner.
Okay.
Yeah, Johnny's on Wilshire, and it's also the diner in Big Lebowski.
Lady, I got buddies who died face down in the muck so that you and I can enjoy this family restaurant.
All right, I'm out of here.
Hey, dude, don't go away, man. Come on, this affects all of us, man.
That's the diner. That's Johnny's on Wilshire, and it's catty corner from the Peterson Automotive Museum where Biggie Smalls got shot.
Yeah. I go to that thing all the time. They got the car that the Professor Fate car from that shitty movie, The Great Race, the one that the Jack Lemmon was in it.
Yeah.
But the great thing about it was, Peter Falk's ass was in that car too.
Yeah.
But that's my pants card. It's real expensive. I went there for Easter one year.
How do you get rewards on it? I don't get.
I don't know
what
because
you're
I haven't
supposed to
used
do.
it enough because I haven't been able to take out a loan to eat at Pants.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
I love Pants, folks, but it's expensive.
Yeah, it's very
And the
expensive.
booths are small, especially if you go there with Kyoki, who takes up the whole booth if you're listening, Kyoki. But yeah, that's AAA. I don't know why I have this because
How many AAA cards you got?
I have a few. Which one is the real one?
I was going to say, only one of them's
That's a
current.
2013
That's
one.
a 2014 model right there.
Okay, so which one is this? This one's so old it's a New England AAA card. Yeah, it's from 2011.
Probably toss that one.
I got 3 AAAs.
No, keep it. Just keep it, just for shits and gigs.
Yeah, I don't want people get my information like that. Identity thieves using my AAA if I throw it in the trash. For some reason, I have
That's a
Sotheby's
AAA gold card, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
It's
only a little
legit.
bit more, and it pays for itself. I use all the time with the shit boxes I drive. I need AAA. Seriously.
So are you frequenting a lot of art auctions?
No, I don't know. You know what? I have a card from somebody from Sotheby's, and I don't even know why it's in here.
One wild night.
I got it out here because it's got an L.A. address on it. Oh, and it is a girl, Shannon McClend. Wow.
Call that
Shannon,
number.
if you're listening, yeah. I don't know if you're married or whatever, but even if you are, we can fool around or some shit. You work for Sotheby's. Shit, put out insurance on this model. This is some hot shit. This is a good one here. This is a ticket to Lucha Lords, which was a lucha show that I used to go to in L.A. They don't have it no more because I've been looking for it, but it was a lucha show me and Frank used to go to.
Neighbor Frank.
Yeah, Neighbor Frank down in L.A. Actually, you remember, I think we mentioned that episode where we talked about probably the most obscure wrestling shit possible, and we mentioned P.P. Ray. I used to see Ray Rosas back when he was doing the lucha stuff at Lucha Lords. So if any fans of championship wrestling from Hollywood are listening, all 6 of them... That's a shout out right there. But yeah, this shit was good. It was lucha.
Did you see, were there other great lucha people there?
There was Super Porquito.
Oh, nice.
White Pork, who was a guy who had a piggy mask. He had a little white piggy luchador mask.
Was El Dandy there?
No, but there was Transformer.
Okay.
Which was a guy with a Optimus Prime lucha costume.
Was there Charlie Manson?
No, there was no Charlie Manson. No.
Or the Kiss luchadors?
No, the only licensed characters like that were Transformer and Mikey Mouse, who had like
Mikey Mouse.
But
I love Mikey Mouse.
Well,
that
they used to
good.
hand out a program, and there was so many typos on it. I don't know if his name was actually Mikey Mouse or they couldn't
No, I
spell
think
Mickey.
it was Mikey Mouse because they want to, get under the
But it was the
radar.
best. In fact, you know what? That might be what this ticket that I also have in my wallet is, because they would actually have a kid come by and sell you a 50-cent raffle ticket. I don't even know what they was raffling off because the whole raffle was in Spanish, and they would even read off the numbers in Spanish over a shitty PA system. So I could have won for all I know. And I wouldn't have known. But that was a good time. Lucha Lords. Oh, I have McDonald's Monopoly in here.
Oh, wow.
Park Place.
Oh, man. You could have made $1 million.
Yeah, if it was 2009, I probably still would. I have a fortune cookie fortune, which says, "The nightlife is for you."
Really?
Yeah, so I kept that one. And on the back, it tells you how to say Christmas in Chinese. Shangdan Ji. And my lucky numbers 10, 28, 20, 12, 1, and 29.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of things you can learn just by searching your wallet or from a cookie.
I found the weirdest luchador characters. There's Los Talibanes.
It's probably a guy with a Bin Laden beard. And a
Yes,
turban.
actually, the lead guy is a guy with a beard, and they're kind of dressed in Saudi outfits.
Oh yeah, they look like Skander Akbar.
Yeah, they kind of look like extras in the movie Ishtar.
Or they just come from a Christmas pageant.
There's fake Jeff Hardy.
Fake Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Is that his luchador name?
Has he
It's
become
it's
fake
El
Willow?
Doble de Jeff Hardy or fake Jeff Hardy, and he doesn't even look like Jeff Hardy.
That's why he's fake. Well, it's some guy that's vaguely Jeff Hardy like.
Gato Eveready, which is essentially the cat.
The cat from the Battery?
Yeah, exactly. So he's basically dressed like the cat from the Eveready. He looks like an Eveready battery. That's what he looks like. Burro Exotico.
The exotic donkey.
exotic-
Well, there's a
Hell yeah.
So this is a guy in a
Wow.
in
That guy
a
is
pink
awesome.
donkey costume.
Oh, it looked like he's supposed to be Shrek.
Yeah, sort of. So exoticos in Lucha Libre are like essentially the gay rudo characters. So
Okay.
it's like the gay heel
Is
characters.
that why he's pink?
Yeah, so he's like the gay donkey essentially.
Wow. He's wearing lipstick or something. Very sexually confused donkey.
But my personal favorite is Los Teletubbies.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
So
gays.
It just is the Teletubbies.
So it's just like guys dressed in just big fat guys in Teletubby costumes.
Halloween costumes.
Yeah, just like really bad Halloween costumes. And one of them's skinny. So they're all just these big chunky guys. And then there's the skinny guy.
Which one's the Exoticos one?
I think that's Tinky Winky,
of course.
obviously.
Yeah.
At least
remember-
according to the Reverend Jerry
I
Falwell.
still remember my dad is seeing that. He's just like, I don't think he's gay. He used to watch Teletubbies. Found it entertaining.
Oh, there's Cahoz, which is a guy that's basically in a very weird sort of clown mask. And his gimmick was that he bit the head off of pigeons.
like Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, but pigeons. So he would go on to the ring with a live pigeon and bite its head off.
Wow, they would never, the animal cruelty people would be up in arms.
I still remember a joke from The Daily Show from when that Tinky Winky thing happened where they were talking about it and they said, in an effort to please Jerry Falwell, the Teletubbies have introduced a new character.
Jesus-y,
Weezus-y.
yeah. That gets crucified at the end of every episode of Teletubbies for our sins.
He was just blue, but he had a cross instead
Yeah,
of on the head, on his head. It was great.
But yeah, Lucha Lord, Super Porquito, White Pork. You know?
White pork.
White Pork.
We used to just call him white pork. I used to have pictures of white pork somewhere. You go back on Mr. Goodnight's Facebook, like 2010, you can find some white pork pictures.
So is his name White Pork? Or
White pork. That
Wow.
was his name.
So was he like an evil gringo pork character?
He was just a guy with a piggy mask.
Oh, okay.
He was a face. White
he
pork.
was a Technico
Yeah, he
versus
was-
a
he was
Rudo.
Oh, is that what they
Yeah,
call him?
Technicos are the good guys, Rudos are the bad guys. So it's
Well, he was a technical.
yeah, technicians and rude.
I think Optimus Prime though was a Rudo.
Surprising.
Yeah, considering he was such a hero and a
Yeah.
transformer, I should say. He looked like a low rent,
Yeah,
like
as opposed
Justin
to
Liger.
because it would be like Decepticon would be the
or
bad
some
one.
shit like
yeah,
Megatron or something.
Megatron. Non.
Megatron or Transformers. I don't know what the hell this is. It says unity is power when formed right.
Is that a business card?
I guess so. It's
Did you-
something called New England Up Front. Barbara Williams, president. Who was that weird guy that used to go to 705 and give out those weird? Actually,
I have
one of
no
his cards
idea.
in there. I might have one of his cards in there, but there's that one.
Unity.
Here's one from Frontline.
Really?
From PBS Frontline.
Wow.
Yeah.
They doing a story on you?
No, what it was, her name was Lisa Sullivan. What it was I was at Boston Comedy Festival, and there was a lady there worked for PBS. And at the time, my number one goal was to get on the new version of the electric company that they had. Because I really wanted some of the women that were on that show. Uh-huh. And the thing was, I had to end because a guy I knew was like, it was like a friend of a friend thing of somebody that was on the show. So I was talking to this girl here, trying to tell her to get me on PBS so I can meet these chicks in the electric company and, get with them and all that. So that's why I had this Frontline card. So I could
Gotcha.
be on PBS, which I wished I was.
They didn't call you back?
Well, no, because we didn't get that far about that. It was more just like she was there. I was talking to her. I took the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't it wasn't really, the plans weren't that far in the works for it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, whose loss was it really besides the world's? The girls, because they didn't get filled up with the love of Goodnight. This is from a liquor store. It's called Cappy's Fine Wine and Spirits in East Boston, and this is my friend Josh Alberti. When Goodnight was in Boston, Goodnight for the longest time was better known for his public access work than his comedy. In fact, it was years, because I've been doing public access shit in like 10 years, and it was years before I got recognized more for comedy than I did for public access. And Josh Alberti was a fellow that was a manager at a liquor store in East Boston. And I would go in there, and he recognized me from public access and gave me his card, and he was actually ended up being on the show. So,
wow.
Yeah.
What's East Boston like? Because I know because you always hear about South Boston, but
South
East Boston.
Piece of shit. East Boston is, it used to be an Italian neighborhood. Now it's more like a Spanish neighborhood. It's where Logan Airport is.
Okay.
So it's it's one of the only parts of Boston that still feels neighborhoody.
Okay.
Because of the tunnel and everything the way it is in Boston, it's kind of cut off because it's just like a little peninsula that hangs off on the east. So it's kind of cut off from Boston proper. So that's one of the reasons it's still got that neighborhoody vibe and all that. Because most in Boston now don't. It's all like, gentrified or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But East, my man Rock and Rob, who, if you've ever seen him, he is a piece of work.
Turn and burn.
Turn and burn, baby. But he lives
Pass
in East
the
Boston.
ketchup.
Pass the ketchup. He was going to be the next big thing. I was managing him for a while, and he was going to be the golden boy of 2006.
What went wrong?
His terrible diction, I think, the lucrative endorsement deal that I set up between him and D'Angelo Subs fell through.
You have a card for them?
No, I hate that shit. Rob's the only one I know who eats it, and he calls it Dangies. Their model looks like Dangle. It's some shit thing they only have in Boston, and it's associated with Papagino's. Which is like the most ubiquitous pizza place in Boston. And they have some kind of tie-in where they do the catering with the Red Sox. But ain't nobody goes to D'Angelo's except Rock and Rob because it's shitty.
It's a pizza place?
It's a shitty sub place.
Oh, okay.
It's really hard to find an equivalent out here.
Is sub the proper nomenclature in the New England, or is it a grinder there?
No, they call them subs.
Okay.
They call them subs. There's actually an old word from nobody uses anymore called spucky, which you don't hear much. But I think that was like a Southie thing or something. But they used to call them subs there, no grinders. Occasionally you might hear a hoagie. We used to call this boy Kevin, and we used to describe his shoes as hoagie because he had these big skateboard shoes. We used to say, you got hoagies on your feet there. Cardo, this is a Boston Public Library card.
How many overdue fines are on that one?
I stole books from it, but that was weird.
How do you steal books from a library?
You don't return
You just
them.
don't return them.
Oh, I thought you were actually stealing them and not checking them out.
No, that was when I was in high school. The funny thing to do is because they had tags in the books. The real funny thing to do is if everybody was in the library, you would just put a bunch of books in somebody else's backpack when they weren't looking, so that when they walked out, it would go, pew, 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 with an alert.
I used to do that, too.
It was so fun.
I'm going down to the library, picking out a book, check it in, check it out.
This is Vin Art. Polymer clay ornaments and custom design by a fellow named Vinny Hale. You can see he has a lovely little like porcelain froggy and porcelain fish. That's from Fun
That's adorable.
Spot. That's from Fun Spot. Have y'all ever heard of Fun Spot?
Yeah. I've been to Fun Spot a number of times.
That was a bartender, worked at Fun Spot. And
there was a bar in Fun Spot?
Yeah, it's called the D.A. Long Tavern.
I had no idea.
I was banned from it for a while because of Frank.
Why?
What did Frank do?
Well, it's New Hampshire, so there's all these kind of like granite head Republicans.
Yeah.
And the guy who runs Fun Spot cannot keep his politics out of something that's just supposed to be a family fun.
Right, yeah. It's skee ball heaven, essentially.
Yeah. But in the bar, they had this shit on the wall, and it was some kind of shit about. It was some kind of right-wing shit back during the Bush years.
Right.
Something. And Frank would always like take it down or would like draw an X through it or something like that. And this nasty woman works at the bar, and to think she's the owner's granddaughter, caught him. So, of course, I took the blame because I'm the conspicuous one, even though I had nothing to do with this. So I couldn't go in there when she's serving there, and I think I still can't. But she wasn't working that day.
Yeah.
And so I got there's a bar at Fun Spot. That's the important thing.
Wow.
It's got an old trout that somebody caught in Lake Winnipesaukee. It used to have a tabletop Miss Pac-Man in it.
Wow.
They moved that upstairs now.
Yeah, I never knew about the bar in there. I knew about the I only sampled the miniature golf and the skee ball.
When were you there last?
God, when I was a little boy, I was probably about 12. So this was 96, I think.
It would have been pretty new then. And I know exactly because on the door it says the D.A. Long Tavern, established 1994.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think they would have had it then.
Yeah, we would go to Fun Spot, and then we'd go to Tamarack for fried clams,
shit.
yeah.
And I got something from some asshole here. It's a card by some guy. It says saverivers@gmail.com.
Oh, it's my... Oh, wow.
His business card.
All right.
Which is very minimalist. I guess you're going for a White Album kind of feel.
I was going for the American Psycho thing.
Look at that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my God. It even has a watermark.
Wilmington Advocate, Tewksbury Advocate. Oh, that's Sean Hanson. Sean Hansen was a fella in Boston. Had a
Stan Hansen?
No,
like
not
Lariat?
Stan. Oh, this guy ain't nothing like Stan Hansen. Sorry, Sean, if you're listening, but he's an odd guy. He writes for local papers. He does stand up, and he hosts a long running public access show in like Burlington, Massachusetts.
Was he your competitor?
No, because I was actually out. By the time I started stand-up comedy, I wasn't too much doing public access no more.
Yeah.
There was a little overlap.
Right.
But I'll be honest with you, there was no competitors when it came to public access.
Yeah.
There was no
I'd like to
competitors.
see a Stan Hansen public access.
I would love to
show,
see
yeah.
that. Just so I can stand there and I got 10 fat kids and a fat old wife. My boy needs a pair of shoes. Caller, what do you got? I'm just a country boy from West Texas. That's a great shit. Oh, and then there's the American Rant Network.
What is that?
That was a comedian guy. He was a golf instructor from Everett, Massachusetts.
That's one thing we don't have in Los Angeles. Like
Comedian golf instructor?
that we don't have people that are just have weird, just mundane jobs like that, plus they do stand-up on the side.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's
everybody's a career person here when it comes to stand-up.
Yeah.
You don't have the guy that's like, I own a sub shop, but I also do stand-up
Or
on the side.
there was a guy that was a fireman.
Yeah.
Stand-up, yeah.
Oh, hey, I got one of those. Shout out to Anthony Dinar.
Shout out.
The first guy who ever gave me stage time is a firefighter in Opelika, Alabama.
go.
And he owns his own gym. We did a comedy show. I don't know if I talked about this shit.
I don't think
So we did a comedy show there, April 2013. I went home and I had my big homecoming show, and then I saw Anthony. And he was like, "Oh, hey, I didn't know you were in town. I'm doing a show at my gym that I run in Opelika now on Friday." And he's like, he's friends with firefighters and shit. And he's like, "Yeah, it's, most likely it's just going to be all the firefighters and their wives and stuff." I was like, "Whatever. That sounds, it's not like LA. It's going to be a crowd that doesn't see comedy all the time and is down to listen." And we showed up
performing next to the Nautilus machines and stuff.
No, that was the thing. It was one of those gyms where it was a CrossFit gym. There's not a whole hell of a lot of equipment. It's just, there's like what looks like a very elaborate adult monkey bars.
Yeah.
And then very threatening slogans on the wall. Like, pain is weakness leaving your body.
Train or die.
Train or die. And then my favorite one that I had never heard was sweat is your fat crying for mercy.
I've seen that before, actually, yeah.
I love that. I was like, I've never heard that
Is there
one.
one that said gym equipment is for sissies?
Yeah. And they have
we're throwing tires around and fucking jumping, with the big rope.
and there's a painting
medicine ball.
and there's
Yeah.
a painting of like a pit bull on the wall.
Yeah.
And it's just like we're all accountants,
So it's one of those types of gyms, and I had been saying, because this was my first trip home after moving to LA, so I was really excited to go home and see everybody. It had been 8 or 9 months since I'd been home, and the thing I kept saying was just like, man, I hope that when I get home, I just want to hear a thunderstorm. Like, I haven't heard lightning and thunder in forever, because you just don't.
You don't.
Because even if it rains in LA, you don't.
I miss
I miss that shit like you wouldn't believe. I love the rain.
Yeah, it's like taking a nap when it's the big thunderstorm going on outside is the greatest. So I was saying that the whole time, and then come Friday when this show is supposed to happen, and this gym, it just has 2 giant garage doors that are open into the parking lot, and that's where we stood to do the show. So all the comedians were just standing in the doorway because there's no air conditioning, so they just had to have it open like that. And it was raining a little bit when I got there, and I got the last good set in before the rain started blowing in like sideways, like into the gym and shit, and just soaking people. And then as everybody's getting their shit to leave, we just hear the fucking tornado sirens go off. And I'm like, oh God,
Yeah.
I don't want to die in this stupid gym. The power goes out, and we had to like shut the doors, and you can just hear the rain like hitting the side of the
was it on
doors
the
and
roof
shit. It was like a
corrugated iron roof.
It was exactly
Well,
that.
it's a good thing they've been doing all those vertical jumps in CrossFit so they could jump over the tornado.
I was going to say, you got the rescue squad with you. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
you're
with
all
the
right.
firefighters,
Yeah.
so I was in a pretty good spot. But all the same, just being in that place and then having a tornado pass through about a mile away.
Yeah, you're like, I don't think I missed precipitation.
Yeah, I was like, I don't miss the rain this much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt real bad. My buddy Kevin Socher at SoSure on Twitter is a great comedian out of Atlanta. He had the second to last set, and there was just rain like coming in. He's holding a live mic, and we were all like, "Okay, we need to shut these doors."
Because originally when you said a gym, I thought of like the old 80s style like weightlifting gyms. Where
Yeah,
it was,
no, this
kind
is
of
like
the
a-
weeder kind of weight plates and like rebar for people to do chin ups on.
I
and
think they have all that shit.
a
but
boom box that plays nothing but Pantera.
Yeah, it's actually that's not too far off.
Okay.
I think they have all that shit. They just don't have like elliptical machines and treadmills and like cardio stuff.
Yeah,
it's
'cause-
all weight training.
Yeah,
stuff.
because there's like I can't stand CrossFit. I think CrossFit is one of the worst things ever invented.
I
Because
just know they do it at the dojo across the street from my house, and you'll like go to your car in the afternoon and hear guys in the parking lot throwing those big truck tires, just going. "Rawr!"
Well, it's unsafe.
Double dragon.
Well, it's unsafe. It's unsafe a lot of times because, like, a lot of times when people do CrossFit, they don't like the whole idea is that you do a ton of reps of very heavy weights, and that's not how you lift weights whatsoever. It just basically will lead to you like messing up, tearing muscles, and messing up your tendons and things like that.
All I know, my favorite thing was they have a CrossFit gym next to the Downtown Independent. In downtown LA.
Oh, God, that was so funny.
We would always go to the show.
The last Holy Fuck was hilarious with the CrossFit people.
It happened every week. We'd go to the Dave Ross and Jeff Weidenhofer ran a show in LA forever called Holy Fuck, and we used to go to the show at the Downtown Independent, and you'd see the CrossFit guys. They'd run them around the block, but the block is Skid Row.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's like the hobo jungle when you get down on the other, like, 3rd Street.
Exactly. That was the street. They'd run them around the block, all the CrossFit guys. So it's, what I presume is, a bunch of fucking, like,
Yuppies. Yeah.
Running through Skid Row at, like, midnight while they're, doing their CrossFit shit. It was always really funny.
The worst one was when it was the last Holy Fuck, and there was probably about 500 people in line,
It was packed,
I would say.
yeah.
There was 500 people in line, and the CrossFit people have to come out and do their poorly executed clean and jerks out on the sidewalk just to show off. I don't know why.
Wait, they're what?
A clean and jerk. Like it's an Olympic lift. But they haven't been trained to do it right, so they're doing it completely wrong.
Oh, okay.
But they were taking
Patera would do the clean and jerk.
Yeah.
The military press and all that shit.
Well, they were doing it on the sidewalk, and they were like just complaining the entire time about people lined up for the comedy
For the
show.
show, yeah.
And they were just like, guys, could you just create a break in the line so we can do our lifts? And it was just like, no.
You didn't get some kind of weightlifted
This is a
jock
public space.
Yeah.
You didn't get like a weightlifted jock who's, bro, I'm going to kill mode, bro.
No, because they're not. Oh, God. CrossFit people are so annoying.
But anyway,
Yeah.
Anthony, good guy.
Yeah, if you're a firefighter, I can definitely understand you
Yeah.
doing CrossFit because it fits. But if you're, a guy that's like a junior executive,
Yeah.
or Paul Ryan or something like that,
Right.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that sort of thing.
Keep your body happy through exercise and drink water and juice with a little slice of lemon. Eat a rock with a garlic every once in a while. Meditate, appreciate, learn a foreign language, and understand that immigrants have the hardest lives. Keep your body happy through exercise.
But this thing from the guy that was a golf instructor, this is called American Rant Network. And it was these videos that the guy would make and put on YouTube. And it was mostly like these old guys with big cigars yelling, like literally yelling about the Red Sox. But a lot of them were kind of racist. So there were all these bits about like illegal immigrants and shit like that. Like he had one called the Bird Feeder or some shit, and he
Were
had
these like legit old guys, or was this like sketches?
They were like middle aged. They were like legit old guys, but their idea of funny was these rants. The American Rant Network. Did he used to call himself Ulysses S. Rant? I can't remember, but I think he did. No, Gotta Be Me. That was the name he went by. Gotta Be Me. And he would have these rants about how they make Hershey bars in Mexico and all this shit like that. You can look them up. They're online or something.
Yeah, that's like
they're horrendous. He was always trying to recruit me for it.
There's a guy in Birmingham. I only saw this guy once, but he goes by the name Made in America, and he like runs for president when he does comedy.
Made in America?
Made in America. 3 words.
Yeah,
not a pun.
like Nosmo King.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly. He went to jail for some shit.
Bouncing checks, probably.
Yeah, he went to jail for some reason. Then when he got back out of jail, he reemerged recently on the Birmingham comedy scene.
Did he run for president when he was in jail, like Eugene V. Debs?
Yeah, I was about to say.
like Nelson Mandela. He gets out of jail and he's immediately...
Now he's the president. Look at that. Mandela.
Made
in America.
Made in America. That's right. Yeah. But and then he got out of jail, and now he just does like dirty sex jokes and stuff. Like,
boo!
He abandoned his principles, you know.
Well, just because you can't vote because you're a former felon doesn't mean you can't run for office. You can still run for office.
Yeah,
even when you're in jail.
What did he do?
I think he went to jail for like threatening to blow up Florida or something. Like for real, like
take
for like
a lot of bombs to
like
do that, man.
terrorist. Like he went to jail for like terrorist threats. I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
To blow up Florida?
Because there were too many Cubans or something. Ugh. He was a real crazy.
He should have been on American Rant Network.
Yeah, I know.
This is me on an iPhone from the future. In this episode, the thing I forgot to mention about Made in America, whose name is Ernest, is that the reason he got arrested was he made terroristic threats on the news. They did a little segment on him on local news because he was at the time claiming to be the Antichrist. And he moved into a new neighborhood, and they went to do that story. And in the course of doing the story, he made the terroristic threats. So let's listen to that news story real quick.
Hi, is David Gatlin here?
No.
No. Is he living here now?
Yes.
When we first interviewed Ernest, he was a man of very few words. But that soon changed when he didn't like us talking to his neighbors or getting video of his home.
You're out telling my neighbors, exposing, giving them something to worry about, which they don't have anything to worry about.
From there, Ernest talked for close to 20 minutes about what he's here on Earth for.
In essence, I'm the Antichrist.
Okay.
But the Antichrist is not a bad person.
Says the Antichrist.
Yes.
To his plans to solve the world's problems.
I will solve Social Security. How I'll do that is I'll bomb Florida and Arizona where there's thousands of them, and then we won't have to pay them their Social Security checks.
And God told you to do that?
Yes.
He also has plans to solve illegal immigration and lowering the population.
That's what I'm up against. Saving the world.
I don't see how you sleep at night. Who else won't be sleeping tonight are the many families who just learned Gatlin moved to town, living with a self-proclaimed Antichrist.
And I hope he's recovered or whatever they do to him while they're in prison or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching. And I tell him right now, he doesn't want somebody like me having to watch him.
Here's my old Central casting card. It ran out. It got me my famous role, season 7. Episode 4, I'm the hot dog vendor in Weeds.
On Weeds?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom and dad loved that show. I pointed you out.
Oh, you saw me. Thank you, Rivers.
Yeah.
I have to catch you in the pilot that you were in. What was the pilot you were in again?
It's called Ellen, More or Less. And, I would be in the background.
Oh, right.
Oh, what do we got?
This.
Is that Elvis?
Yep. This is the business card of George Klein, former Memphis Mafia member, Elvis radio DJ, and actually a member of the Radio Hall of Fame.
Really?
Long-time DJ based out of Memphis.
How'd you get this?
I went to Graceland. And the Elvis radio booth.
And he just lives in there?
No. He brought the Elvis satellite radio that we always listening to. They broadcast it from Graceland across the street where that like visitor center is.
Yeah.
So he goes in the little booth on Friday and people line up and he's real friendly. He'll talk to you.
The bags under his eyes. My God.
Yeah. Well, if you read his book, you'll learn he had some work done for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He looks. Actually, I have a picture of him with Frank. There was a picture of me with GK George Klein, but Frank is not known for his ability to operate cameras, so it didn't come out right.
Or a car, according to John Faso.
Yeah, or eat steak. He's not good at cutting it or eating it, but he chokes when he eats steak. There was a famous time in Las Vegas where he choked on the steak.
What happened?
He choked on a steak. He was Frank. Neighbor Frank has a habit of choking on steak. There's two things Frank liked to eat. Well, actually, Frank's ideal meal is Coke and rolls, like bread rolls. That's what he likes. But there's certain actual foods.
Like the onion rolls from Ralph's.
No, just rolls.
No, like Sister
rolls.
Schubert's, like yeast rolls.
Like, Ponderosa style, yeah.
Quincy's.
When you get the rolls, you get your bread. You get the bread roll.
Did you ever go to Quincy's?
Yeah.
That was the only good thing at Quincy's.
Steakhouse, yeah.
Their bread rolls are amazing.
Terrible.
Frank would have loved it.
Yeah, Quincy's.
I got rolls, I got a Coke.
Does it still exist? I don't think it
There's
does.
no way.
Quincy Steakhouse.
The one in Auburn folded in 92.
They used to advertise those during Atlanta Braves games. WCW Saturday night.
Quincy is dude.
Quincy Steakhouse.
Come in for the rolls. Know your rolls.
Frank's like, I'm there, Faso.
I think they do the thing where they're just like, come for the rolls.
Yeah,
world famous yeast rolls.
Stay a while.
Yeah.
Got food too. Yeah. No, they used to have the little tiny chicken wings and the good rolls.
Oh, Frank would love that.
Yeah.
He likes chicken. He likes KFC.
Coke and rolls needs to be that's like a fucking cop show.
Coke and
rolls.
Coke and rolls sounds like the name of like a early Kid Rock album or something.
TNT knows drama tonight. Franklin and Bash, Roselli and Isles, Coke and rolls, followed by an NBA basketball analysis.
Well, anyway, Frank he likes steak and he likes pork chops, and he can't eat neither of them without choking.
I still can't, dude. Coke and rolls is like cellar door. It's one of those like perfect phrases.
There you go.
Coke and rolls.
It's all Coke and rolls, man. It's all Coke and rolls.
Frank's
whole lot, yeah.
Frank's band or something. Coke and rolls.
Coke and rolls.
But the thing is, he likes steak and he likes pork chops, but he can't eat them without choking. And we was really
just not chew.
Well, no, he's just bad at it, and he's bad at cutting steak too. It falls on the floor. And we were at Las Vegas, and we was wasted as shit, and we was eating, and Frank couldn't cut the steak.
How do you not know how to cut a steak?
He's not good with that. And Frank is always either really good at something or not good at it all. There's not a lot in between. It's like Bruce Springsteen. I don't give a damn for none of them in betweens. But he's trying to cut the steak, and Faso's like, what are you doing? Because that's my Faso. You are the worst. You can't even cut a fucking steak. And Frank's like, you think it's so easy, Faso? You think it's so easy, Faso? You cut it. And Faso just cuts the steak.
They sound like Muppets.
Yeah, he sounds like a Muppet Bon Scott. That's what.
Let me tell you something. They sound like the two burglars, like in Looney Tunes and shit.
Yeah, he sounds like.
Let me open the vault, you big dummy.
But let me tell you something.
Well, again, that's kind of Frank is, but Faso could in fact cut the steak, but then Frank ended up just choking on it. I was like, you can't go out to eat with Frank because in the middle of the meal, he just gets up, and that means, Frank's choking again. And everybody hates it because everybody's like, at first it's like, well, this is awkward. It's hard to enjoy your food knowing your friend is choking. But after a while, it's like, Frank's choking again. And you just keep eating or some shit.
As all the waiters rush over by the bathroom where the Heimlich maneuver poster is.
Well, no, because he tries to be subtle about it. So he just suddenly gets up and walks to the bathroom. And then if it's at home, if you're eating at home, it does it. You can hear it coming out of the toilet. Frank going, which is awkward, again, when you're eating. So that's why he should stick to the bread and the Coke and the rolls.
Coke and rolls, yeah.
Because that steak will take you down.
You know
How
what?
the hell did we get to that from George Klein?
I don't know. You said Coke and rolls. Vegas, Coke and rolls. Well, the one thing I was going to say about Elvis, a piece of Elvis information that I found out. I told you the one thing that was cool that because I within the past month started my job as a tour guide of the city of Los Angeles. My job is to pick up useless facts. So one of them was that the last house that Elvis lived in L.A. he later sold to Telly Savalas. So
good,
that's going to be Mr. Goodnight's
That's
house.
where I got to live.
Yeah. And then the other one is that basically there's no preservation society in Beverly Hills and in Los Angeles really to speak of, so they just tear down any house. And this is how little they give a fuck. I was trying to figure out where the house was that Elvis met the Beatles. Because was
that in Bel Air?
It's in Bel Air, and it's famously one of the weirdest meetings of all time. Like everything about it was weird. Basically, everyone played their role perfectly. George and Ringo were too high, couldn't take it, and they went out and smoked weed with the Memphis Mafia. Paul McCartney was trying to get everybody to jam, and then John Lennon said to Elvis, "You should start making records like your old records." And then Elvis was like offended.
So I'm going to call up Sam Phillips and get some echo on that shit.
Exactly. So I was trying to figure out where this house is, and the property is obviously still there, but the house has been knocked over and replaced with like a horribly ugly,
garish McMansion,
very garish looking. But you know what's fucked? Not only was that Elvis's house, the house was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright.
Wow.
So that's how little Beverly Hills gives a shit. They knocked down a Frank Lloyd Wright house that Elvis used to live in.
And met the Beatles in.
And met the fucking Beatles in. Yeah.
And now it's like some stucco thing that looks like...
It looks like,
it looks like one of those mansions that like... is at the start of any R. Kelly music video.
Yeah, exactly. Except without like a big long driveway because it's Bel Air, so they're little tiny driveways.
People with no sense of history.
I know. It was terrible. What else we got in the wallet?
Oh, Cowboy Up and Sons Mechanics, 2711 Little Powder River Road, Gillette, Wyoming. Tom Catalano. I got to tell you about this boy. There's a good man. When we drove cross country, the van that we was in crapped out in the middle of Wyoming.
That's not a good spot.
Yeah, because Wyoming is one of the least populous states.
Well, it is the least populous state, yeah.
And
it's big, too.
Yeah.
So.
It's huge.
So
for our listeners in Zimbabwe that don't know about...
Yeah, Wyoming, it's shaped like a square. It's gigantic.
Yeah. It's pretty, too. It's very pretty, but there ain't a lot of people. So we took to the local mechanic who was this guy, Tom Catalano, Cowboy Up. Hell of a nice guy, I got to say. Hell of a nice guy. Tried to show me how to drive a stick. Talked about rooster tails a lot. He had a son who had unfortunately died, and he talked about that. His son was in the Air Force.
Wow. Let's give him a plug. Today's show is brought to you by
Cowboy Up and Sons Mechanics, 2711 Little Powder River Road, Gillette, Wyoming. If you're there, talk to Tom Catalano. He'll do you good. But yeah, he got. Well, the thing is, he ended up for real cheap getting us an old like 1989 Ford Econoline van, and we finished our journey from that. But we ended up sending him a gift because I don't know if you're all Red Sox fans. But 2003, they made a run, and they got to the pennant series against the Yankees.
Yeah, then Aaron Boone.
Yeah, and it was Kevin
Boone,
Millar and all that. Their motto was Cowboy Up. So later, when we got to California, actually, I think somebody went back to Boston at some point. We sent him a Red Sox Cowboy Up T-shirt because that was like the 2003
that was like the motto.
Red Sox slogan, Cowboy Up.
That's great.
Yeah, he couldn't believe it, too, apparently. He was like, what the hell? But yeah, he's a good guy. He helped us out in the middle of Wyoming. This is my friend Kelly Tabbitt. I have her business card. The only reason I'm throwing it away is because I like her. If you're listening, Kelly, I'm sorry I haven't talked to you in so long. This is Brian Longwell, too. He's a comedian in Boston. I like him a lot. He's really good. He does these like pretend economics lectures, and he does them with a
PowerPoint.
No, not even PowerPoint. It does it old school.
Overhead projector?
Overhead projector.
Oh, wow. With the transparencies?
Yeah, with transparencies, with these little things, these little charts with stickmen in them about how like businessmen are going to the strip clubs. And I'm not doing it justice, but he's really good. Brian Longwell, if you're listening, you know you've always been one of my favorites.
The title for my presentation is simply this, and that is Why Work? As Mike said, I am a non-motivational speaker. Motivational speakers like to get people fired up about working. I prefer to address the question of why show up in the first place.
Oh, one last thing then. LAX firing range. My card from that.
I mean, I don't have any. I have my own business cards.
I have one too. Our wallets have that in common.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll take one for myself.
And just the standard shit: a tap card. Fuck the coffee bean.
Oh. Why? What's your problem with the coffee bean?
Because, all right, so I got this gift card. All right, so I used to work at a grilled cheese shop. The owner, he was just some dude. He used to manage a Hooters in Florida. And because I worked with a bunch of children who, like 18 and 19-year-olds who had never had a job in the restaurant industry before, who would just walk around and stuff and not do their job, basically. He was just like, we're going to have a contest to see who can, like, stand the most still.
Yeah, that's a Hooters thing. It's very weird. Like, kind of the management style at Hooters is very.
Well, they make the girls do all kinds of like
just degrading stuff. Yeah, it's this very strange thing. Like, I had a friend of mine. I knew a lot of my female friends that worked at Hooters, and because it's like a rite of passage, I guess.
In Florida.
Yeah, I mean, because it's Hooters.
Either that or Cafe Risque.
Yeah. But no, because Hooters is like huge in Florida. It was started in Florida. It's like, I guess it's Florida's gift to culture in a very perverse way.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's tons of like knockoff Hooters in Florida too, where there's like they don't have Hooters in the name, but they're either like
titties.
Yeah, they're either like knockoffs in the on the chest sort of thing,
or
on the
thing, or
on the butts thing, or the legs things, or they're just
thing sounds good,
or they're just wing places with scantily clad girls. And there was one
that's the one we should open.
Yeah,
wing place with scantily clad.
Yeah,
girls.
so there was, but so everybody, there's a large number of girls that I knew from high school that when they graduated, they worked at Hooters for a spell.
Yeah.
And there was one, this mutual friend of mine, Megan, who worked at Hooters for like a day.
Yeah.
And the two things that I remembered was, one, they asked her for the shorts that they wear. They were like, do you want extra small, or small?
Yeah.
And she responded, small. I need the room to keep my balls in my shorts. That was like the one thing that she said. And then on their breaks, they had to hula hoop.
Oh, wow.
You couldn't have a straight up break, like to go outside and smoke a cigarette or go outside and talk on your phone. You had to literally bring a hula hoop with you and hula hoop.
What if you couldn't hula hoop?
You had to learn.
Shit.
Because apparently during the time at this one particular Hooters, they would go on the bar, the top of the bar, Coyote Ugly style, and hula hoop.
On their break?
Like, just, no, as part of the show, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like Hooters
so it was practice.
it was practice so you could nail the hula hoop.
It doesn't
bit.
make it better, but
it's just like, it's one of the most, like, Hooters is one of the most messed up places.
Yeah,
it's just, like, very contemptible.
But yeah, so anyway, came in one day. He was like, hey, we're going to have a contest to see who can stand the most still at their positions. So I was like on register. So of course I won because register doesn't have to do anything. So I just stood there, didn't move my feet at all, and then was kind of an asshole about it just as a reaction against him. Like, I was like, oh, I would go get that rag, but I'm not supposed to move.
Yeah, I can imagine some 17-year-old just being like, I can't get any more bread. I can't move.
Yeah. No, that was me. Anyway, he was like, oh, and you get a prize. And at the end of the day, the prize was $10 at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. And I say, fuck the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf because they don't accept this at the airport.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, no, that makes sense because they're licensed.
Yeah, but like,
is that a gift card?
It's a gift card.
Well, I mean, that's
like,
not
what does that say, 50
that's
years?
Not
50 years.
That's a long expiration thing on that gift card.
That's not the only Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, right?
Yeah, but I don't do. I'm not
from-
a coffee guy. Except when I go to the airport, I was like, oh, I'm bored. I'll get a coffee.
But I mean,
I've done that too. I'm bored.
Yeah,
coffee.
Yeah, I mean, but the Starbucks there isn't real Starbucks. It's like they just send them Starbucks stuff. They send them Starbucks uniforms, but they don't.
Yeah.
So then they're not going to take it at that at Starbucks.
No, but I'm saying that it's not, like the Starbucks at the airport isn't a real Starbucks. Like they don't get Starbucks wages or Starbucks like benefits. They just sell Starbucks stuff, and they have like Starbucks.
Yeah,
it's like almost like a weird franchisey thing.
Yeah.
But it's not a real Starbucks.
Anyway, so there's just like I think I went to one in North Hollywood and spent like $3 on a coffee. There's probably $7 more on here.
And we also have Rivers' concealed weapons permit right here.
Yeah, that's
too.
right.
Expired.
Expired, but I do have the new one. I just re-up it every year. It's just into my folks'
Do you
house.
do it over the mail or something like that, or
no? It's just it's just for Alabama.
Oh, okay.
What did you have to do to get it?
Okay, so in order to get it in Alabama, you just literally have to like fill out a thing, like a paperwork, and then you just give it to them, and they just give you it. But the whole reason
you don't have to watch a video or something like that?
No, you don't have to do anything.
Wow. Safety course?
No, well, that's the thing. All right, so the gun that I have one pistol, and I keep it at my parents' house in Alabama just because it's such a pain in the ass to own a gun out here in California that I'm just like, I'll just use it when I go, So I keep it oiled in the closet, and then when I go home, I go out to the range and stuff. But the gun I have is a 1946 Smith & Wesson 38 Special.
Classy.
Military and police. So it's like, if you've ever seen an old cop show, the black, blue steel revolver that they all carry, it was what the cops carried all the way up until the early 90s when they all switched over to Glocks. So it's a service revolver, and when I got it, it was belonged to my grandfather. He was on the New York Police Department from 1946 until 1970.
Wow.
And in Staten Island, and he retired and then moved to Alabama to the farm where he lived the rest of his life. And from the looks of it looks like Granddad oiled the gun up one time in the 70s, put it in a pillowcase, wrapped it up, put it in his drawer, never touched it. So when he passed away and we were going through his estate, I found it and I was like, ooh, I want this. This is the one I want. And my mom was very worried and stuff. And I was just like, I'm going to be fine with it. And she was like, well, here's the thing. I'll sell it to you for what it's worth, or I'll give it to you, but you have to take the safety course. And I was like, oh, all right, fair trade. That sounds great. And so the safety course was 2 nights with Jay Jones. Shout out to Jay Jones. Re-elect Jay Jones, Sheriff, Lee County, Alabama. And he's a family friend of ours. He's teaching the course. Basically, the first night was about cleaning the gun and maintaining the gun. And then the second night was essentially, when is it cool to shoot somebody? All the legal stuff. And
when is it cool to shoot somebody in Alabama?
Basically, we don't have like a stand your ground, any of that Florida bullshit. Like it's,
if they're in your house.
If they're in your house, if somebody comes in your house, someone in your property, I don't think you're necessarily.
So if they're in your house, but not necessarily in your yard, like in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just shoot somebody in your yard.
Yeah.
And shit. Like they have to present an active danger to you personally,
right.
Not to property, but to you. Whereas in Florida, it's like if someone's stealing your lawnmower, you can blow their fucking head off. Yeah, which it's not quite that easy in Alabama.
A lot of stolen lawnmowers in Florida.
No, there's not.
It doesn't deter the people from stealing the Freon from the air conditioner.
Let me tell you, if they got to get their butt hash or their meth,
exactly.
Yeah, they got a death wish anyway.
It's necessary.
But the story that Jay told that was the funniest was, well, first of all, he scared the shit out of everybody because he passed around a bunch of Saturday night specials that were all kind of falling apart. And we're all looking at them, and they look like, a true, like, Saturday night special, which, if you don't know, is like a gun that's essentially so shittily made, it'll fire once, and if you're lucky, it doesn't blow your hand off. Yeah. It's just a really shittily made pistol. And so he was passing those around, and they're all kind of, like, broken and fucked up, and some of them look like the cigarette lighters you buy on Venice Beach that look like pistols.
Oh, those little automatic ones?
Yeah, but then they have a lighter at the end. They look like that, but they're real guns. And then as he's passing around 3 or 4 of these, he's like, this is what a Saturday night special looks like. And we're all looking at him.
Pocket guns.
Little zip guns and shit. And we're all looking at him. He goes, all 3 of these were murder weapons. And I was like, ah! But the funniest story he told was that there was like, this woman had just had a newborn kid and was upstairs changing the kid's diaper, and then she hears the sliding glass door shattered downstairs.
And Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out.
The Roseanne theme hits.
He sprays her with the beer truck.
Hey, your kid's crying too loud. Give me a hell yeah.
That's the bottom line, son.
But they hear the glass breaks downstairs, and she goes downstairs with the baby in one hand and the 38 in the other, and sees a guy stealing her microwave, and she goes, hey! And he turns real quickly and just throws the microwave at her and takes off running. And she chased him down the street, shooting at him with the baby, just in a residential neighborhood at 2 in the afternoon. So that was an example of, don't do that, because that is not protected under the law. If
it is a fun afternoon for the baby.
But yeah, she was
microwave.
For a microwave, yeah. And that's why I said this had to have been in the 80s, because who would give a shit now?
Yeah.
That had to have been when it was like, if you've seen American Hustle, they kept calling it a science oven.
Yeah, or a radar range or something like that.
That had to be in that time. So, you know.
It's been a big old heavy one, too.
That's what I think. And
I know.
And so Jay,
so that's a deadly weapon, essentially, if somebody threw a radar
if you would
range
lock
at
somebody,
it.
if you're a gremlin, a microwave is always a deadly weapon.
Well, that's what Jay said. He was like, you know, if he threw it at her and she shot him, then no question that would be self-defense. But he threw it at her, it landed on the floor, not near her, and then he took off running. So he basically was like, you know, if the threat is moving in the other direction from you, it is not a threat anymore. Yeah, she just
hot pursuit.
Yeah, so
This is a citizen's arrest.
Yeah, so she just chased after him out into the street and was just shooting in a residential neighborhood in the middle of the day with a baby in her arms.
I'm surprised she didn't blow the baby's eardrums out.
You know, but
maybe he slept through it. That'd be a good kid.
Yeah.
The other one that was funny was
kids made of scrap iron.
He told us about these people who were just armed to the fucking teeth at all times, come home and see these guys carrying their big screen TV like out of their front door into a car that's already packed with all of their stuff. And
which is cavalier since they're armed to the teeth. So
well, no, that's the thing is like they took a bunch of their guns and stuff. So they had, but I'll get to that. But yeah, so
they should have taken all the guns.
Well, no, they travel with guns.
Oh, yeah.
So they're armed to the teeth in their car, and they pull up and they see these people carrying off their TV, and they like start shooting at them. And so they hop in the car and pull out, like, go over their front yard out onto the street, and they proceed to have like a 25-mile car chase across southern Lee County with the owners of the house shooting from their car into the car.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Like Bonnie and Clyde.
Literally like Bonnie and fucking Clyde. And like they were crack shots. And basically what happened was they had stolen this big cedar box filled with ammunition, and they'd put it in the back seat. Basically, they continued chasing them 25 miles. It took like, you know, all afternoon basically.
25 miles.
25 miles. And this is rural Lee County, so it's not 25 miles in LA, but still, 25 miles. They chased them. They finally shoot the car tires out, and they held them at gunpoint until the cops get there. And Jay was like, you know, that is so not cool. You have to, like, if you see that shit happening, you have to call the police.
Did they arrest the people that were?
We're chasing them. Yeah, I think they did.
Well, you know, I mean,
because it was
that has to be like a big like surprise to them, because they're like holding them to wait for the cops. And they're like, see what I did, and then they just get arrested.
Well, if they were smart, they could. If they saw them alone, they had guns. They should have just said, "Bring that shit back in."
Yeah,
when they had guns and just hold them there with the guns.
But they dropped as soon as they saw them. They dropped everything and hopped in the car. But the thing was, when they pulled all the stuff out of the car, that giant cedar box full of ammo that they'd put in the back seat is the only thing that saved their lives. There were just so many bullets stuck in that thing because they'd been shooting at them, and it was just hitting the wood.
Yeah, although it's full
otherwise they would have killed those people.
Yeah,
5
because
times
I thought initially when you told it that they shot out the truck tires, the truck flipped, and because of all the ammunition, the truck exploded.
No,
like
it just
Magnum PI style.
No, I wish it was a cooler
lot of
story.
Shit can go wrong though when you got a thing of bullets in the back of your truck.
Yeah. Oh, when I did the gun safety class. So basically, to describe the gun safety class, it's just me and a bunch of recently divorced women that bought pistols to shoot their husbands if they come back. So it was badass. Awesome. So it was just that. And then the other guy teaching it was Jay Jones, and then this other guy named George. But he is Mike the cleaner from Breaking Bad. Like, he is exactly that guy. So he's just like, if you're in a gunfight, don't be in a gunfight. Run away. Check us out on Twitter, twitter.com/thegoodspod, on Facebook, facebook.com/thegoodpods, youtube.com/thegoodspod.
What's in your wallet?
My wallet in El Segundo. Left my wallet in El Segundo. Left my wallet in El Segundo. I gotta get it. I got to get it. I left my wallet in El Segundo. Left my wallet in El Segundo. Left my wallet in El Segundo. I gotta get it.
The Goods from the Woods was mixed, edited, and distributed by me, Rivers Langley. You can find the show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by DJ Smiles. Check him out on Twitter at DJ Smiles.